Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been some time. I definitely did not think this much time would have passed before I uploaded a new video. So much has happened. Happy New Year. I hope everyone is healthy and safe. I'm not going to drag it out because we have so much to catch up on. As you can see from the title of the video, something happened. Baby and I are okay, but we did have some trauma happen. So let's get into the past few months of what's been going on. So in my last video, I spoke about how sick I was, dealing with hyperemesis gravidarum, which is just the most heightened level of morning sickness, and how I was unable to work because of how sick I was. If you don't know by now, I work in a public school system. I'm not a teacher, but I guess my title is as close-knit as a teacher as it could be. It's weird, but I work in the classroom with students and a teacher. It's usually myself and a teacher. During the time that I was out, I was obviously not in the building. I was working with middle school, and when I returned back, I was changed into elementary school. I work with kids in general. I prefer middle school. It's obviously easier to communicate with them. I never have much of any problem. But can I work with elementary? Absolutely. I've worked in daycares. I've worked in after school programs. So I just prefer middle school. Obviously within school calendar, you only work 5 days, Monday through Friday. I don't think I worked 8 days before this situation happened. We did have like a day off. There was, I believe, parent-teacher conference. So it was like a half work day, but I still had to stay for the whole day. And then there was a day that the child was absent. So given that information, maybe I've spent 6 days with this child and I had to make multiple incident reports. And not incident reports involving this child and another student, but involving this child and myself, this child and the classroom property, this child and the teacher. And I only did incident reports for myself. The teacher has did incident reports for herself, and the whole building is aware of this child. I'm trying to give as much information without giving too much information. Administration absolutely knows that I'm expecting. Administration absolutely knows that this child is aggressive. Administration obviously is aware of the incident reports that I made out. And incident report is not, I wouldn't make an incident report for a child verbally disrespecting me, which has actually never happened. I have never made an incident report, and I have been working in a school system for maybe 6 years now. Never had to make an incident report. Never had a problem with a child. Never been disrespected. I've never had a problem. This child should not be in a general school system. Not to speak too much on his situation, he's just not supposed to be in our environment. He deserves a close-knit environment. He deserves one-to-one, keep in mind I'm saying that, a one-to-one situation that a one person can focus on his one person. And that was not my title. I was hired, assigned to the classroom to focus on all the students. And unfortunately, in the situation, I guess in his situation, he needed more of a one-to-one. So naturally, I have been, like I said, making incident reports, complaining. I'm unionized, so I've spoken to my union. I was going through all the normal steps that I should be taking as feeling uncomfortable or feeling you're in a dangerous situation, which is what I felt. Excuse me. Long story short, he lost control as per usual. And losing control intends on physical behavior to adults, destroying his environment around him, and running out. Simple as that. I was not involved in majority of the first part of the morning, which it only took about an hour for any of this to happen. I was not involved in the first half of the morning, and unfortunately it became more aggressive. The student was in danger of harming himself, which is why I stepped in. The additional person left the classroom, and like, okay, now it's my time. I can't just sit here and watch. Unfortunately, the student was extremely physical against myself, which I was harmed. And it's hard to not like openly talk about it. It's hard to talk about in general, but I was physically harmed with my stomach. So I did have to evacuate the classroom with the students. Like I didn't leave the students, but I had to evacuate our entire class because of how crazy the situation got. Someone did come and retrieve the student because of how manic the situation happened, was taken out of control. And by the time we got back into the classroom, my usual thing is to, clean up the mess, get the kids back in order, continue on with our day. And I was like physically shaking because I was attacked physically at my stomach. This is my first baby. I have never been pregnant. I am losing my mind at this point. And I have to hold it together in front of a kindergarten class. I did try to speak to my supervisors, and that wasn't very much possible at the time. I did ask to go home. I was sent home. I took myself to the ER, and this is where all hell broke loose. I took myself to ER, and part of me didn't even want to. Not because I thought something was wrong, but because I was so upset. I was so upset that here was another day of, I knew the situation was getting worse, and I was just so upset that I felt like no one was helping me at work. And when I mean no one, I felt like my supervisors, my administration was not listening to me for my cry of help. I just wanted to go home and sleep. I'm pregnant. I'm exhausted. I'm dealing with children. Obviously a very aggressive child all day long. I have a very long commute. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. I get home at maybe 5 p.m. every day. I'm just so tired. And I just wanted to go home. But I went to the ER and had the shock of my life. So after my ultrasound, during the ultrasound, if you guys, are expecting, have children, any ultrasound on any part of your body, you know, well, I can't say it, but I know when something is wrong. When I have ultrasounds, the ultrasound technician might not say anything, but you could tell someone's energy, you could tell someone's face of what's going on. The ultrasound tech let me listen to the heartbeat to ensure that my baby is alive, heart is still beating, but her face looked so concerned. Wow. Her face was so concerned. And then she called another person to look. And if they had me hooked up to like a blood pressure machine or to anything that was monitoring my heart rate, they would know I started to panic. Because I could see her face was not well. Something was wrong, and she didn't say anything. And she tried, I guess she looked at me or felt my panic, and she was like, baby's all right, baby's okay, you know, we're just looking at, and I was just like, it was as if I couldn't hear any words that she was saying at the time. I was like, your face is telling me something that your words are not saying. And because of COVID, I was by myself. I didn't have anyone to hold my hand. I was, my sense of comfort was phone call and text message. So you can just imagine the panic that I was going through at the time. So they sent me back upstairs for me to wait for a doctor to go over the ultrasound. A doctor eventually, you know, you're in an emergency room for hours. A doctor eventually approaches me and explains to me that, asks me to explain to them what happened, which is I was physically attacked by a child directly to my stomach. I was having like discomfort walking. Eventually it became just discomfort sitting, like how I am right now, or laying back. And it wasn't painful, it was just discomfort, like I did ab workouts yesterday. They explained to me that my cervix was now shortened and open. I had just had an appointment maybe less than 2 weeks prior, and I think this is just in general when you go to any appointment now, you get your patient portal notes, which, because I am expecting to give, you know, the rundown, which that was not the situation of my cervix before. So the doctor expressed to me that some people are born with a short cervix, or this is due to trauma. I'm not born with a short cervix. This was due to physical trauma. And time was running that my child and I were in danger. Simple as that. So now I am told I'm going to be admitted into the hospital, which I have never been admitted into a hospital. I am told I'm going to have surgery to close my cervix, to prevent me going into preterm labor. This was the day before I was 16 weeks. I was 15 weeks, 6 days. And like I said, I was by myself. So I'm in a panic of calling my boyfriend and calling my mom, because how do you deal with this information? I was gonna go home and take a nap. I was gonna sleep it off. But I was transferred to, I was transferred to maternity actually, hours after. I was put on monitoring. They monitored heartbeat and stuff, which was so annoying, because they wake you up so often to check baby, to check you. I understand, but it's very exhausting. Excuse me. Then my boyfriend was allowed to come. Sorry, now my brain is all over the place. He was allowed to come overnight stay, which was great, because I could not imagine dealing solely with this on my own and him not being there. My parents came, my boyfriend came, his family came. Everyone is extremely supportive, because this was a very extreme and detrimental situation that could have happened. So the next day, I went into surgery. I had my cervix stitched. I was put on medication to stop labor, because I did started having slight contractions. I was put on a lot of medication, fluids, medication to stop infection, a lot of different things. I was in the hospital for a total of 5 days, and I was cleared to go home, but cleared to do nothing else. No driving, no sexual activity, no standing for long periods of time, no exercise. I was put on very strict bed rest because of how serious the situation was. I don't even want to go into the specific measurements of what my cervix was, because it's just ridiculous. The situation happened in November. It is February now. So it's been a while. I am still on heavy limitations. I'm allowed to drive, but I'm still on heavy limitations. I'm not allowed to go to work. I am still not allowed to do physically much of anything. Baby and I are doing well. We are growing. I will give you guys a bump shot as an update because it has been a while. But this is just one more part of this pregnancy experience that I felt should not have happened. Like, I definitely expressed that in the last video, that I was already feeling in my first trimester that I wasn't able to experience the happy part, and I feel like second trimester, first thing, was the same thing. So depressing, so sad, just not being able to enjoy this time. But I'm grateful and I'm blessed that we are both very healthy. We are both still kicking, literally. And I can only be grateful for that part. So, you know, let's clear up our faces. regardless of how long time has passed, I think it's always going to be something difficult to talk about, obviously. But like, you guys are family and friends to me. You guys are literally like a personal journal to myself, and a lot has been going on within this past. Like, this is not the only situation that has happened, but it's the most traumatic, and I am so ready to spill my heart out to you guys. So be ready for me to be super annoying. Just prepare yourself. The time we have all been waiting for. You ready for a bump date? As of today, I am 26 weeks and 5 days. So, trigger warning, it's my bare skin. And here we are at 26 weeks, guys. So from the last time you guys seen it, we've gotten bigger. I definitely feel like I'm not huge. Of course not. It's been maybe 2 hours since I've eaten, so it's not like I just ate. I've had stretch marks my whole life. Basically, I've always had weight fluctuate constantly. So stretch marks are here. Here's my, I can't remember the name of the line for my stomach. My belly button. And, you know, here we are. We are getting so big. And I know you guys are waiting to know gender. We will be letting you guys know that soon. But here we are, growing, feeling good, doing great. I will go over more details on this little one in another video, but here we are. I know this was once again not the happiest of videos, but extremely informative. So if you guys did like it, if you guys were informed, if you guys enjoyed the time spent here, sometimes we need this venting time. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed yet, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. Like, I have no idea why it's taking you so long to subscribe. Like, I'll give you a minute. Go ahead. Go ahead. Remember, love you guys always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.